What is going on, people? Welcome to Throw Down Your Questions, episode 327. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I am joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Told me to break the flow of the intro, but yo.
And Brian Manjoma.
What up?
All right, no Adam action. He's what do we call that? Kid sick? Because when you got kids, you're sick all the fucking time.
Yeah, he's taking care of his daughter.
Oh, is that case? It's either the kids are sick or you're sick from the kids.
No, she's pretty sick, right? They had to take her to the hospital and stuff.
Man.
But
And Brett will show up when he shows up. He's working late tonight. So yeah, I don't really have anything to add to the beginning, to be honest. So we can just get right into it, man. These questions.
Let's get into it, shit.
Yo, man, we got questions. All right. We do have this shit ready. Okay. First up, Mob Hits in the house. All right.
Yo.
What is one way? What we're gonna throw in? What are some ways Microsoft can implement Discord into its servers to benefit its players? Maybe if there was a Game Pass app to stream on all devices, they can have Discord be part of that app's experience. That's an example. So yeah, how can Microsoft really utilize Discord to benefit the Xbox community, Xbox players?
I mean, for me, it's funny because I don't actually fully understand what Discord is, despite us using it all the damn time. And it's like half a message board, half a live chat room. So
it's everything. It's all of them put into one. Like, you have communities. You have, let's say, the the community we have, the Throwdown fan club, Discord channel. Mm-hmm. So we have our own Discord channel. What do we do there? I mean, whatever people want to do. We talk shit about it. Yeah, we do. Most of it we talk shit. 20% is Mob Hits' rumors. But we also branched out a little bit. We also have a channel dedicated to throwing on your questions. It's like, okay, you guys want us to answer questions for the podcast? This channel is dedicated specifically just to ask those questions. And also, we have channels just for to talk about the Marvel TV shows to spoil it. We're talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier in one channel. It's like it's like sub communities where you can talk about different things. There's also voice chats. You can share screens. So it's a lot of stuff put into one. And honestly, I don't know how they'll integrate this into the Xbox. It seems like, I don't know. It seems like
it's an interesting one because I don't get how that would go into it. No.
Yeah, I don't know either, to be honest. Because it was an Xbox, the app, the chat app already good enough as it is. So,
well, isn't it integrated Skype now instead of what it used to be?
Well,
it's basically Skype.
Oh, shit.
But Discord seems like too much for the Xbox, right? When you're gaming, all you need to do is see your friends list and create groups, right? Like we do now on PlayStation, and like you can do now on Xbox. So Discord has all this stuff. There's all these channels, and you could create sub channels within your channel, like Carlos was saying. It's like, do you need all that on that platform on PC, like what we're using it for? And if you use it full time, I mean that's useful. It's certainly better than the other options, way better than Skype. But I don't know, it's like overkill for what you need on Xbox.
Right.
Yeah, I still don't understand, and again, this may show my ignorance here. I don't understand the reason for buying Discord, and I think I forgot who asked. I think it was Manny. How does Discord make money? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand why is it valued at $10 billion, which is what they bought it for? Is it just purely because so many people?
Well, they haven't bought it yet.
Well, I mean, right.
They haven't bought it yet.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? What makes it? And we talked about this briefly on the last show. What makes it worth $10 billion? I'm not saying it isn't worth $10 billion. I just want to understand why it's valued at. And Carlos, then you bring it up where it's just valued at because people think it should just be valued at. Zoom is $90 billion. There's no real reason it should be that. People just value it that way because businesses use it or whatever.
Yeah, I guess it just depends. There's revenue. There's whenever if this were to go public, price to earnings ratio, and you compare that with inflation, there's a whole bunch of things that you have to take into account. When a company hasn't been gone public yet, and it's a privatized company. It's kind of harder to check all of that stuff. But I mean, they do make money off of subscription services, and they do have their own. I think they have a game store. Like this thing has a lot of stuff that I haven't even used yet.
Yeah.
Riku was talking about how he subscribes to Discord Nitro, which is I think $100 a year, which gives you certain perks. So I'm pretty sure that's most of the revenue that they make is off of those subscriptions and off of the games.
Yeah. So yeah,
how Microsoft came to that evaluation number of 10 billion, who knows? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't really know how Microsoft could use Discord to make the Xbox experience better. I guess make it easier for the PC guys and the Xbox guys to talk to each other. I guess that's one way, right? But I don't really know how they would utilize it. So I don't know. I honestly don't know.
They'll integrate Discord into the Xbox. Then they'll start charging everybody to use it, and they can make up for all the lost revenue for all the people that used to use a voice chat.
Oh shit!
Because now it's free.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Anybody else got any ideas? Because I'm like, I don't know.
I'm drawing a blank on it. I don't.
Yeah.
I literally had to have Carlos explain it to me because I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what the problem stems from. Since we don't really know what Discord is, despite the fact that you're literally looking at Discord right now, it's kind of hard to say how Microsoft could use it.
Yeah, I don't think because we're looking at it in an Xbox perspective.
Yeah,
I think they would rather use it more as a part of their enterprise platform. They have Windows, and Windows has Word and Excel and Skype and Teams and stuff like that. And OneNote, it could be one of those things where, Skype, I think, is going the way of the dinosaur. And they might have Discord as being part of that service. I'm not sure. Who knows what Microsoft is, would plan to do with this thing. Because we already talked about how they acquired Skype and they just left it to die. They didn't really innovate on it. They just kept it stood out stale. So who knows, man? I don't want them to buy Discord. I honestly don't. I don't want Tencent to buy them. I want them to go public and just be on their own.
Yeah, because you want to buy them stonks. That's why,
Oh yeah, I want to buy that stock. It's gonna go up because I believe it. I use this service all the fucking time.
Yeah,
we all do, and it's like. It's something that's like we see how Zoom went up like crazy numbers, especially during the pandemic. I'm like, this is way better than Zoom.
Oh yeah,
Zoom is a piece of crap. Like Chris mentioned last show, he's like, yeah, it's a piece of shit.
Yeah, Zoom is trash. By the way, complete and utter non sequitur here. I just realized that I know what the phrase "going the way of dinosaur" means, but if you really think about it, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh,
right. Because if you go, they're going away dinosaur, so they're going to turn into birds.
Yeah.
If
you want to be technical about it,
but we're not
going
to
due to current scientific discoveries.
Well, that's the thing though. So sometimes they're like, scientists are kind of debating. It's like dinosaurs kind of didn't go extinct. Actually, like if you evolved to something else, you just evolved to something else. So your species is actually still technically around.
So should I say they went the way of the dodo, or did that evolve into something else?
Yeah, no, that motherfucker died.
No, the dodo we killed that thing.
Yeah, we killed that thing. So yeah, Microsoft's gonna murder Discord like humans murdered a dodo. By the way, Carlos, you can say that phrase. I just thought about it. Like, oh wait a minute, you're telling somebody they're turning into a bird. Anyway, let's move on. Next question here. Also from Mr. Mob Hits. All right, this one is interesting. Does Sony have a responsibility to preserve its gaming history? My thing is, does anybody have a responsibility to preserve their gaming history?
I mean, to be honest, they actually don't.
They don't. They actually don't. It would be nice.
Don't need to because here's the thing. Like, even back in the days when they were doing movies, like or like doing like not doing movies, but like like a good example is like Doctor Who, right? Doctor Who is notorious because like most of that show is lost to time because the BBC didn't think it was worth anything. They just literally just wiped all the tapes and reused them because that's how much they thought of it. They're just like, why would anybody want to watch this over again? See?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't think it is. I think for us as people that remember these things, yes, you want to keep that legacy around, but it's not up to any of these companies to say, hey, we're gonna preserve any of this stuff.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add to that. Yeah, I agree. Like they don't have a responsibility. Again, it would be nice, but none of these companies do. Unfortunately, it's like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna pass a law or something? Like, how do you even enforce something like that?
But at the same time, but at the other sense, then when the time comes along and they actually start to saying, hey, whatever happened to that stuff? Well, we just threw it all out.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? Because we could make so much money off of that right now.
It's it's a tough thing because like if you're saying like morally and it's part of your legacy, yeah, but legally, no, they haven't. There's no obligation. There's nothing holding them to that account at all. Brett's not here. I'm sure
if Brett was here, he'd be going off. Yeah, he'd be going off.
He'd be going off. But we're all in agreement. Like it would be nice, and I would encourage it. Like I think everybody should, and I think if this, if you feel strongly about like Sony shutting down the PlayStation Store, not creating some kind of legacy app or whatever, people should definitely say something, for sure. Because I absolutely think that even though you have no obligation to do it, that history shouldn't be lost, because that's what will happen if you say, well, we don't have to do it, and nobody's telling us to do it, right? But if you lose that history in those old games or whatever, a part of your legacy is lost, right? And companies build off of that. Look at Nintendo; they keep everything, like all their years of whatever. Back to Hanafuda cards, they have all of it, all their legacies going back before pre-video games, Ultra Hand, all that shit. They keep it coming back, Game & Watch. So, for Sony, you don't have that. You have a long legacy, but with electronics and other stuff, but not with gaming. Not like they have, right? So that piece of your legacy, that part of your company, like you should keep it, like and preserve those things and those relationships and that data and stuff that people love, even when they supported you back when you were nothing, back when Nintendo thought you were a joke, didn't even tell you they were going with Philips, kicked you out of the PlayStation Super Nintendo project.
Yeah,
people believed in you. So, but that's a moral question. That's not anything else.
Oh shit, I see that, Carlos, and chatted. That's the thing. I think that's
Lost Legacy.
Yeah, the Lost Legacy. Right. I mean, that's what makes it like a tricky thing for me to answer, because I don't really like to deal with moral shit like that. So I go with the legal shit. So no, they don't have any obligation. But at the same time, this is why the retro scene, the emulation scene, very important. Those guys are actually preserving gaming history, more than the actual companies are. So, shout out to those guys,
I mean, go ahead, Carlos.
Go ahead,
just real quick. I think we're all in agreement here. It's a shame that they don't preserve their history. I mean, Microsoft is making a better attempt at that, and they don't even have as rich of a history as Sony does with PlayStation. It kind of pisses me off, man, because Nintendo, they do preserve their history, but they kind of they take it away at times. With a virtual console, they got rid of that thing. They've got rid of that service, and it's like with the Switch, they kind of are trying to bring it back. So I just wish that every console iteration, it's kind of like PC gaming. Like every console iteration will always have that back library, that back compat library, where we can carry it through every iteration of our new PlayStations. It'll always be there with us whenever we want to play it. And for them, it's always going to be there for them to sell. Like Manny mentioned, they can make money off of this. It's not just, we're going to, for good faith, we're going to put in all these games and we're going to make sure they work on these systems. Like, no, not only that, you can sell these,
Yeah. I mean, they have a whole literally like waiting on there right now. Like if you turn on your Vitas or you turn on your PlayStation 3s right now, you literally can see hundreds of games like from like going back all the way to the PlayStation 1 junk stuff that would be even considered junk nowadays. Like some stuff that you're like, why is this on here? Because they figured out how to get the whatever emulation or whatever thing they got it working. So I feel like they really should try to get it to work out on the new things.
Right, and like to Tony's point, the ROM guys are the ones preserving the history. Here's the thing: you don't want to lose control of your legacy, because if people take it in their own hands, like they've done for retro consoles, and then you go like Nintendo, like Carlos said, if you go the Disney Vault route, like we're going to just ration what people can play and what they have access to and what they don't have access to at any one time, and people turn to the emulation scene, you have no control over that, and you lose that residual income. Nobody has to go to Nintendo for virtual console. I know I have the it's like maybe I went on the high seas or maybe I didn't, like, you don't know. But it's like, hey, do I have a giant library of every Nintendo system? Who knows, maybe I do. And maybe I have a little device like a Raspberry Pi thing that hooks to my TV. Who can say?
Hypothetical here.
Yeah, hypothetical. But here's the thing: Nintendo doesn't get a dime out of that, right? And that's the thing. For Sony, it's like you don't want to put yourself in that position. You want to control your legacy. If you do that and make it accessible, nobody needs to go do it to third parties and have people rip ROMs and then get that on the side, and then you lose control of that, and then you're paying soft dollars to legal teams to try to stop that, which you'll never do it. You'll never stop it once it gets out of your hands. And then you lose that residual income. Forget PlayStation now, whatever. People will turn to other things if they can get it. It's all about accessibility. This is why the movie industry has lost control of streaming and stuff, because they didn't want to embrace streaming and digital media early on, and people were bootlegging stuff. And now they've done it, and it's successful for many people. But many people can just go, I'll find the stuff elsewhere because it's been around.
Yeah, Brian, what are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I must agree. Like, they don't have to, but it's a case of they should, but it is beneficial for everyone if they do. That's my thoughts, really.
Yeah,
and much. You guys pretty much said why. So yeah, not going to repeat myself.
All right, cool. All right, let's move on. I think that'll probably be the main topic tonight. So I didn't have one tonight. Nothing really. This was a little bit of a slower week. Actually, it wasn't a slow week, but it was slow after the Thursday show. All right. Next up. Oh, by the way, speaking about things that happened after Thursday, It at Xbox had a presentation on Friday that I completely had no idea happened until this question. I was like, "What?" Okay, but so this
what?
Even Manny's like, "Well, what are you talking about?" Man,
that was in another universe.
This kind of sucks because this is a question from a first timer. Retry.
Right.
I like that name, Retry. So yeah, they just want to know what id at Xbox game piqued your interest from the indie event on Friday.
I didn't even know there was an event.
I had no idea. Shows you how big of indie guys we are here on Throwdown.
Damn, we're a bunch of ponies now.
We're a bunch of ponies. Look at the hat. The hat gave away. Fuck. We've been found out caught red-handed, bro.
I can't really answer that.
I could. I
wish we got to see it.
I could list down the games.
Yeah, we can see what. Yeah, let's go through it. We don't have a lot of questions this week, right?
No, we don't. It was kind of weird that we didn't get a lot of questions, considering that this was a crazy fucking week. But the thing is, I will warn you guys that I'm going to rattle off. It's basically I'm just going to rattle off a bunch of names that probably won't matter to us, except Brian probably like, oh, that's on PC. That's on PC. Probably it's on PC.
Well, what if maybe if somebody want to run the YouTube, run that.
Carlos, run the YouTube video, man.
Yeah, come on.
The link's in there.
Video,
yeah, go to the show notes, click on it, and there's a video in there. Oh no, wait, is there a video? I don't know. I just look for it at Xbox. So I'll just run down these games, And I'm going to play a game of has Brian heard of this? Because usually when we have these indie games, Brian already knows about them. All right. Art of the Rally.
No.
Astria Ascending.
Astria Ascending.
Okay. Backbone.
No.
Boyfriend Dungeon.
Boyfriend Dungeon.
I'm just telling you what's listed here. Crafttopia.
I wish we had some visual, because this is not gonna. Just naming names is not gonna help anybody.
I don't. Nobody's.
We need to see something with this. We need some visual aid because.
Well, when do you guys have to? I can't do it. I'm hosting this shit. So.
Okay, so well, what is it? Xbox or something?
ID at Xbox.
See, I had heard that they were doing it, but I just did not have the time to check it out.
Carlos is getting it. Oh,
okay.
So I guess we'll just. So did they? Again, did they show?
Yeah, just.
I don't even.
Yeah, maybe
know.
they got a sizzle thing on there.
Did you guys in the chat know they had an Xbox event? I had no idea. Tony, you're a game journalist. You're supposed to. I don't work on Fridays, man. Listen, my week is Sunday through Thursday, man.
Oh well, I mean, it was yeah, they have a thing on their chat on their thing here. It's only
For some reason, I can't interact with it.
All right, you know what? We can't answer the question then.
I found the website. Oh wait, they have a YouTube link here. Is that it?
What are you doing here?
Okay, so I might find like a list of the games. Since
I mean, so did I. I have the list here, but I think mainly
he found the list. We just want to at least want to put a visual aid along with it, right?
Because no one's heard of these fucking games, so listing them, it's not going to.
Yeah, like we're just naming names and nobody has any real context of what it is.
Yeah.
The only one that I can say for sure I am aware of is Stalker 2.
That's the only one that looks familiar.
Yeah, it's the sequel. The rest, not too certain.
Yeah. No thanks, Carlos. No thanks.
So yeah, Stalker 2.
What was it
Stalker
called?
2, yeah.
Yeah. Stalker with periods between every single character because it's fucking extra.
Yeah, all right. So that we're looking right now as a Boyfriend Dungeon, I guess.
Oh,
yep, Boyfriend Dungeon.
I'd seen the screenshots of that and I was like, no, I'm good.
Well, I don't think that's for us, bro.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean,
let's just be real. This is a game for. This is not. It's not for straight guys. You know.
It's funny. It's funny. The characters in that looked like one of them looked like Rain.
What game? What game?
Or one of those K-pop people.
Edge of Eternity.
Okay, what's this one?
Sounds like a power metal band.
Edge of Eternity. Hey, it looks like Noctis.
Yeah, he does look like Noctis. Yeah, apologies to the guys just listening to the show because we're just looking at this stupid thing. No sound to it though.
I mean, it looks
and actually,
interesting.
don't put sound out because we're going to get copyrighted. So.
Yeah, it looks like kind of like one of those sort of like it's trying to be one of those Japanese RPGs. I don't know if this is actually a Japanese game.
It could be.
But it looks like it's trying to be that.
Oh, it's a beta though. It might be some MMO shit.
Oh, okay. If it's an MMO, interesting.
All right, I'm gonna go to
the next one. Go to the next
usual.
one. Where you got bored of that?
Yeah. All right. See what this one is.
Hello Neighbor 2. It's an ad for Wayne.
Hello Neighbor. We know Hello Neighbor.
No, I don't.
Damn.
I don't.
You never heard of Hello Neighbor?
No, I don't pay attention to these type of games, man.
This was already announced
at least
in a showcase before.
Yeah, that's kind of already a thing.
Right,
it's funny. It's funny. It's funny. We just saw Wayne and Garth there. I'm like, damn, they look old.
Yeah,
I was about to say the same thing.
All right, so there's Hello Neighbor.
Yeah. Yeah, Hello Neighbor is kind of like you're kind of spying on the neighbor next door, and he's doing all kinds of weird stuff in his house. So you sort of
that game sucks.
Yeah,
I played that game already.
Yeah,
all right.
This one's the second.
All right,
one.
Stalker 2. Here you go, Brian.
Wait. Wouldn't the game about being a peeping tom encourage people to be a peeping tom?
Yes.
Well, it's okay
because it's a cartoon.
You sneak in his house because you sneak in his house because you think he killed somebody, and you find out like all sorts of weird shit about his house and what he's
so
done. I keep the conversation at the wrong.
Hey, there's Brett. Yeah, somebody asked us if.
Chris, tell us more about breaking into your neighbor's house.
Yeah, well, I thought he killed
All right,
somebody.
next, Carlos.
I
Next.
jumped in the window.
Stalker,
Stalker, man.
Oh, yeah,
Stalker's
go ahead.
amazing.
Okay, you can talk about Stalker.
It's a sequel to a cult classic. Like, it's one of those games on PC that came out, and it really struck a chord with a certain group of people, and just loved it, and they raved about it. And it's getting a sequel, which is really quite good.
Yeah, all right, we're now looking at Way to
Next
the
one
Woods.
is Way to the Woods.
A deer simulator.
What I've noticed
Looks like a
from
deer
this
game.
is like
I've seen this one. Yeah,
they put all of these games on the reveals, like the games that were on ID Xbox. They've all been announced like years ago.
Yeah, I noticed that
last year.
2019.
Yeah.
So maybe it's gameplay that they're showing off it.
Maybe.
So I guess what
maybe.
they're saying, looking at the headline, it says ID at Xbox Showcase reveals 20 new games heading to Game Pass.
Oh, okay.
So this is a list of the games that are
okay.
heading to there.
Next.
We've seen this one. We've seen this one before. The deer game.
All right, this is called Backbone. Looks like a wolf,
Backbone,
or like a
playing
raccoon, detective raccoon.
Oh, it's a point and click adventure.
Oh my god, they still make these?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
dude,
that!
This one looks
Hey,
good.
that's
too.
fun.
It's well rendered.
All right. It's like Black Sad, the way it should have been.
You just feel going, just going next.
Oh, no.
No, this one's fun.
It is, but there's
It's
always
like
the creepy
it's
undertone
like
of
Sam
it being
and
a
Max
furry
and
game.
stuff.
All right, Little Witch in the Woods.
All right, and probably it sounds like a survival game.
Looks like an RPG.
Over the top RPG with a sprite.
Yeah, it looks like an RPG, or Link to the Past, maybe.
I was gonna say this looks like Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Link to the Past.
Oh, it's
Right.
Korean?
Oh, it's a Japanese. It's a Korean game.
Interesting.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like Link to the Past. All right, next.
Well,
Right. She
right,
Dreams
let's see what that
Elsewhere. Okay.
Oh, this looks like
Looks like Pokemon.
has an Undertale feel to it. It's black
Yeah, it
and
looks
white.
like a Game Boy game.
Yeah, it looks
I
like
was gonna say I didn't know they were making
Yeah.
Game Boy games anymore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's
Is
not
this-
green enough though.
Is this pushing the Series X right here?
Yeah, right.
Yes, it is.
The teraflops.
This is. You realize that this game takes up the whole hard drive.
Yeah, Wild at
Okay,
Heart game.
what's this one?
Okay, Wild at Heart. All right, what is this?
I mean, the good thing
Is
about
this
these
at Humble
games is that
something?
they're all going to be free to try. So at least if you're just like, I don't know, fuck it, I tried the game where you play as a whole. It was all right.
A game where you play as a whole.
You play the whole.
This looks like
All right.
What
kinda
is
like,
this? Some
Earthbound or
looks like
something.
some survival shit.
like Don't
Yeah,
Starve.
looks like-
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Don't Starve plus Pikmin?
Yeah, Don't Starve and Pikmin married.
Yeah,
And
he's
had-
he.
and
You
made
got to
this.
keep your little. You got to keep your
They
little
had a
monkey
baby.
creatures alive.
Yeah, and
It's
I saw
gonna-
the camp that they were building.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I saw.
All right. So we don't really. Again,
Can't
Brett,
stand
did you
this
know there was an
animation.
at Xbox showcase on Friday? None of us knew
Well,
about
because
this.
Brett, it looks like Flash stuff, right? You know.
Not just
Like,
that it looks like Flash, it's that other like that fucking just cutesy indie, like it is nothing but that. Like, all right, you can put some of that shit
Carlos, you
into
took
an
that
indie
off.
game.
It looks like a
Right.
Richard Scary book. It
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Exactly.
looks like a Richard Scary book.
Like they're trying really, really fucking hard for charming. I'm getting real sick of indie games trying to be charming.
You're not charming. No. So yeah, there you go. That's
Yeah,
our impression.
Yeah, I guess.
Sorry about that, dude.
Was that
Like,
the whole thing? Was that all of them?
There was more. There's more games listed, but I'm already. I don't care anymore.
Okay.
I think here's an opinion. Who
yeah.
cares? They're free.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, yeah, like there's it's not like they're asking you to pay $70 to play
Yeah,
one of
that's
those
right.
things. I mean, if they're all coming to Game Pass, then you can try them out. So
Yeah.
I say win-win.
Yeah, no
You know,
one
you
loses.
can find a diamond in the rough.
You don't have to listen to our opinions because they're free to try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Make your own
the question was still asked, man. You know.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Two.
As
That's my
Tony
answer, though.
as Tony says on Twitter, my opinion doesn't matter. It's your opinion that matters.
That's right.
Well, and especially when it's free. And like, I'll be honest, like Game Pass, in my opinion, as I've played it, I've kind of realized something. Like it's an opportunity to play games that I wouldn't normally play. Like there's a lot of times I'm like, I don't know why I'd throw fucking $20 at that, but I'm like, that's free. Oh, okay, well I'll give it a try. And some of them I actually find that I enjoy it. Like I said before I got it, it holds very true still. It reminds me of the Sega Channel. It's just one of those like pop in, like, okay, I'll try this for a game. Nope, okay, bye. And then you're on to the next one on the list, man. And the fact that there is a list and not just 1 or 2 games every fucking month that you play, like, is what makes it the good thing. You know, you're going to a fucking salad bar. Sample everything.
Yeah. By the way, Kishak, yes, the games are not free technically. Got to pay the subscription. We all know that.
Well, here's the deal. You're probably if you've got a Game Pass, you're not getting it for these games. These games are not the games that are going to make or break you getting Game Pass. The other fucking games that are on Game Pass are what's going to make it. The Bethesda games, or if they have a Call of Duty on there, or the fucking Yakuza games, or whatever you're into, whatever drew you to that place anyway. That's what you're paying for, not this shit. This is the side stuff that comes with it. You didn't even ask for it. There it is. I know it's not free, but come on. Nobody's buying Game Pass for these indie titles. It just helps to flesh out the library and give you something to try. And there's some things on there, like there's
that's it right there.
Yeah, there's some games, some big indie games that like Luna or something like that. Like games that I'm like, oh, I've heard about this. I've seen this. I've wanted to try it, but I haven't really felt like putting up my PC and installing it on Steam and fucking dealing with paying money and it's waiting for a sale or something like that. Fuck it. But now that it's on Game Pass, I'm like, oh, okay, sure, cool, yeah. Second I get some free time, I'll give it a try. So that's the real benefit here. That's why I'm like, I don't fucking care. I'm playing it I have it for Yakuza right now. Going through Yakuza games. Also, they got Dragon Quest on there. I gotta play that next. And then there's some shit games, man. There are those games that get the 7 out of 10 games. They're like, well, I'm not gonna buy that. I'll try playing it. Some of them are actually halfway fun, but still wouldn't have paid for them.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next question. This one is from Black Metal Gamer.
Who's that?
Hey, I've never heard this guy. All right. We kind of sort of covered this, but we didn't answer this one specifically. Did Sony buy Evo so they could get Capcom fighting games exclusively on PlayStation?
How would that Evo do that?
Evo's not a developer or publisher.
Yeah, they wouldn't, man. Like if Sony wanted those exclusives, they could just buy the games exclusively. They don't need to buy Evo.
Or they could have or they could buy Capcom itself.
Yeah,
so, they're doing something far more insidious. They are if they buy Evo, it's to buy the attention and buy the media control, which makes it look like everybody who's doing competitive gaming would be doing so on a PlayStation. It would be
they already do that though.
That's why that's what I'm saying.
Like, because it already was like
it's already like that.
Yeah, well, that's the reason that you would buy something like Evo is to you're buying basically the appearance that everybody games on your system and everybody competes on your system. You're buying the idea of the masses that your system is the one that people compete on, which gives it false legitimacy over other systems. It's marketing 101. It's not really that hard. They could have bought the games if they wanted, but then you just know they own games. They don't want you to really think about the fact that they own Evo. They just want it to be saturated. They just want their name to be saturated into Evo, so it gives that impression.
They wanted to. It's the same sort of like it's sort of the same idea where you buy the market exclusive marketing rights to a game when it's not really exclusive to your console. Like when like Call of Duty, they always put the PlayStation logo before the Call of Duty, giving the false impression that the only place that Call of Duty exists is on the PlayStation.
Exactly that.
It's the same sort of idea.
Yep.
Brett, you got called out in the chat.
Oh,
he goes,
call me out then.
Yeah, he goes, Xbox buys one of the biggest publishers and it's great. Sony buys a fighting competition and it's insidious.
Yeah, because it's not being fucking honest, man. Bethesda. They bought Bethesda because they're like, now we have Bethesda games. Very clear. Fucking awesome. All right. You buy Evo, like, I would prefer that they just buy the rights to the games. Just buy them. Just fucking buy fucking Street Fighter. That way you're the only place to have it. Make it an exclusive. Do whatever the fuck you want. But don't try and trick me.
I don't think they're tricking anybody. Like, everybody uses PlayStations at Evos. It's been like that for a long time. But
see, the thing, that it's been that way for a long time. Naturally, you're not trying to buy it and artificially maintain it. That's the part where, like, man, I just get upset when people.
How do we know they're artificially maintaining it though? We act like Brian asked.
Why
we don't know
Sony
the
buy
reason.
Evo?
Who the heck? No, we don't know. That's the $1 million question. We have absolutely no idea.
So they can slap their fucking name all over it. It's not $1 million question. It's very simple.
No, I don't see that. Who the fuck? I don't know. They haven't made a statement.
Business. Like, why would you buy a tournament, and then not brand on it?
Well, they are going to brand on it, but I still don't know the reason. But I don't think that is the sole reason. There's got to be something else behind it, you know. I just don't know.
I'm sure my thing is, money on its own.
I'm not trying. My thing is, I'm just not trying to jump to any conclusion there. I don't know the reason.
I agree with Brett. I do think that they're buying the visual. They're not really. They're investing in the visual of it, and not exactly getting any of those titles. Granted, a lot of those titles are also exclusive to PlayStation. Like Guilty Gear is also exclusive to PlayStation. So
Evo was already exclusive to Sony, if you really think about it.
Yeah, and notice I use the word insidious, like in the sense that, like, it's a good move, it's a smart move. You're basically buying the marketing, and that's a smart move. I don't like it. I don't like it when companies do that, but I know they do it all the time. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to boycott fucking PlayStation over it. But that's a fucking, like, that's a Darth move right there. Like, after you, if you buy Evo for that kind of shit, you need to swing around in your chair, cup your fingers together, and go, yes, good.
I agree with Brett.
But what about it's again, you're getting called out in the chat. So buying games off a platform isn't evil, like what Microsoft did.
Okay, do you guys understand the difference between somebody being honest with you and somebody trying to change the optics? They are two very different things, and that is where my beef lies.
Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with Brett. I think, like, shame on Microsoft for thinking that the only place we can buy Deathloop is on an Xbox console. Shame on them. It's insidious, and they deserve to go to hell for this.
Damn.
Here's the thing is, like, what Microsoft did is there's no question as to what they did. They bought
according to some of these people on Twitter, you know.
Well, they bought Bethesda. There's nothing about that. But the Evo idea is, it's more like it's Sony investing in the visual of something, whereas like they're, in other words, it's not really. They're not saying none of these games are all these games are not all, they're all are on PlayStation, but not exclusive. But to the regular viewer who might be watching this, granted, Evo is
it's a hardcore thing. It's not really a mainstream.
It's still a hardcore thing, but to a lot of the advertising, it's going to probably be quite PlayStation centric.
Evo is going to be very blue going forward, just like my background.
It's all about the optics. I mean, that's one part of it. Also, just thinking about the possibilities, because I mean, esports is big, and it's going to get even bigger. And just think about the possibility of having a PSX plus Evo, having this 3-day event where you're going to show off your games, have a little kiosk, and also having one of the biggest esports tournaments in the world at the same time. Like, it all consolidates into what they want this thing for. Like, the optics is one of it, and just the possibility with esports and the way they can.
The esports thing is what makes the most sense to me, because again, I was like, why the fuck would they do this? You're right, esports is always blowing up. They could stand to make a lot of money off of this, so that makes a lot of sense.
It gets TV coverage too. I mean, people that they have all kinds of other things. So they're investing in all of that part of it. That means that instead of you watching a commercial for PlayStation, you'll be passively watching PlayStation commercials.
Right.
Exactly. And that's the big.
By the way, I'm not debating with you, Brett. It's the chat.
No, I know.
I don't care. By the way, just real quick, Brett, I got to give a shout out to Blitz, because he's officially replaced Glorious War as the guy who likes to yell at you in the chat. Anyway, go on.
God damn it, man! You made me lose it.
Oh, well,
but what I was going to say is, that's the one thing that everybody needs to understand. There is overt advertising, and then there's willing advertising, and willing advertising is much more powerful than passive advertising. This means, like, passive advertising is a YouTuber talking about that fancy controller that they bought, and you go out and buy it. You're willingly watching these guys, and then you're listening to them, and that's the same sort of environment that those guys are looking for with this Evo thing.
Yo,
They're
man, you
just
talking about
looking.
Tony in his hat?
I thought he was talking about me and those TVs I sold. Bruh. They put me in a fucking. I'm not even kidding. They put me in a fucking article because of that. It's hilarious. Anyway,
but you see how that works. People are more willing to listen to if they're a willing participant, they're willing to listen to a person, like somebody like Tony or somebody they're watching or somebody on YouTube or a show or something like that, because they're a part of it. They're not gonna most people don't pay attention to non sequitur advertisements anymore. It's just white noise. But you're sort of bombarded by it, and you're also sort of given it to you while you're doing this. And people will be like, "Hey, well, maybe I should invest in this or buy this." So yeah, go.
That's why someone like Ninja is really powerful in his influence. He doesn't. I mean, I'm pretty sure he does, but he doesn't. He's like, "Hey guys, how about you play Fortnite?" No, what he does is he plays Fortnite and he's like, and oh my god, and that's one way of selling a game.
Yeah. So yeah. Like you see these guys doing some amazing stuff in Street Fighter. You're like, oh shit, maybe I should have played that too.
Yo,
right?
I'm playing Fortnite.
Yeah, right.
I'm getting thirsty. Let me drink some Mountain Dew. So delicious.
Oh man, let me follow with some Doritos.
It's so extreme.
Oh man. All right, let's move on. Next question. Who we got? Him. We got also a black metal gamer.
Yeah.
I feel like we may have answered this in the past, so we'll see what happens. Are there any game series, whatever, that makes you wonder how they're still around? For example, I wonder who is still buying Sniper Elite, Romancing the Kingdoms, and Oddworld games. I know people who buy all those games.
Sniper Elite's kind of a guilty pleasure game. I think
they made like 5 of those things. Like people like those games, bro.
Romance. Come on, can you get? I can't get sick of seeing the kill cam in that game where you shoot somebody in the brain and you see like a skeleton and the head explodes and all that stuff.
But yeah, I guess for the heart of the question, like, what franchises are you going? Why they're still making these? Actually, I was about to ask a question, then I answered it. So this would literally went in my head. I was going to ask, who the fuck buys these truck simulating? And be like, oh yeah, the Hicks. Never mind. I answered my own question.
This is like Big Buck Hunter.
Yeah, Big Buck. Like, who the fuck buys this shit? It's like, yeah, those dudes. So never mind. I answered my own question.
And they're still playing. Those things are still in arcades, man. Big Buck Hunter.
Yeah, they still make them, and it's like these guys really hunt.
Yeah,
and then they go play video games where they do the same fucking thing. It's like, no, you're doing this shit for real. You really need to go home and play that shit.
Yeah, it's like, I drove a truck for 20 hours. Now I'm gonna play a game about it.
It's like, to be honest, it's like being a skateboarder. Why play a skateboarding game?
Yeah, but they do.
It's your audience, dude. Yeah. It's the audience. It's like everything. With those sorts of games, everything has an audience.
Oh, I played Tony Hawk. I can't ride a skateboard for shit. I would kill myself. I'm not riding no skateboard.
No, but man, you're right though. It's like if you do this all the time, right? And if preferably you enjoy it, you're gonna want to do a video game version of it.
Yeah. So if there's an audience out there, and plus they probably don't put a lot of money in those big Buck Hunter games. So yeah.
No, it's crazy. The fishing games. I know Torrance loves fishing. Yeah. Like I know. I've been fishing. It's boring as shit. Like I can't do it.
By the way, Kishak says there's a PC building simulator. I'm not surprised by that.
What?
Play a video game to build a PC.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
It's been a thing on PC for quite some time. Just random simulators.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, even one for building PCs. Yeah. It even has like real parts as well.
What do you call that?
They're sponsored?
Yeah. Okay,
I don't know if they're sponsored, but they're like legit parts and different cases and all sorts.
Well, at least you can learn something from it, right?
Yeah. You know how there's like Rule 34, it's like if it exists as a porn of it, it's like there's got to be a rule for like if it exists as a video game about it. Like I'm pretty sure that's got to be a rule,
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't really like the heart of this question because it's like every franchise deserves to be around. People like it, You know, if people like it, it has merit. You know,
Gotta have something.
gotta have something. You know,
There we go.
yeah. So yeah, but we're not gonna shit on these franchises. They all deserve to be around if people enjoy them. You know. All right.
Even Big Buck Hunter.
Even Big Buck Hunter. You know. and you know, putt golf and all that shit. It all deserves it, man. All right, moving on. You know, Villa Cow. But first, before he gets to his question, a statement.
Oh.
He goes, "Hey guys, it has been great being a part of the Throwdown community. It has given me great insight into the nuts and bolts of the gaming industry." Yeah, man. That's what we do.
Appreciate that,
here.
man.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks a lot.
I really like that statement because I'm like, that's literally what we do here. You know, like everybody in this show has been in the gaming industry in some capacity, you know, so we know what we're talking about and we want to impart that knowledge to you, you know. I'm just being real right now. There's a lot of ignorant podcasts out there. We're not one of them, you know, so I'm very glad you said that because that's one of the mission statements here, you know. Get our knowledge and shove it into your head. And, so he only asked one question for us today. This is for the tech guys, you know. All right. Even though I technically belong to this group now, but you know, I don't do that much research into this shit. Even though I sold a bunch of TVs though, you know, your boy.
Yo, boy.
So anyway, boy. All right. So his question is, I have been playing
sponsorship.
Yeah, right. I'll get Riku to sponsor everything. Oh shit. Anyway, so he goes, I've been playing Ori and the Will of the Wisp on Series X on my 4K 60 hertz television. Oh, feel like cow breath.
Oh man.
It's just 60 hertz, bro. Anyway, I noticed that when you start, he goes, I noticed that when you start the game, it reads 6K super sampled at 60 FPS. Can any of you guys explain this concept of super sampling and how it affects what I'm seeing on a 4K TV? Would I need an 8K TV to see the benefit of this, similar to how you need a 120 hertz TV to get 120 frames a second?
I'm saying 6K.
Carlos, do you want to take this one?
I don't understand. Like he's saying that the it's rendered at 6K.
He says when he boots it up, it says 6K super sample.
I don't think that.
Yeah, Brian, you can go first, I guess, since you're kind of ready. It seems.
I'm trying to find a way to digest this. Super sampling. So super sampling is one of the AA methods. So anti-aliasing, those rigid edges you get in games that are pissing annoying. So super sampling is a way to get rid of that. And how it works, if I remember correctly, is rather than rendering what you actually get and then softening it out, it actually renders slightly larger, and then it kind of like just squeezes it down. Yeah, so hence it's rendering probably at 6K, hence the super sampling 6K stuff, and then it shrinks it down to 4K stream. It's one of the better ones because it still keeps everything intact and performance is relatively A-OK. And so yeah, it's a good technique, and I guess that's why it works really well. So yeah, you don't need to do anything. If you have your 4K TV, it'll look great. It's actually what the PS4 Pro used to do sometimes. So if you had a PS4 Pro and the game was one of the fancy ones, what it would do is it would render in the higher resolution. So if you had the PS4 Pro and on a 1080p TV, and the game was rendering at higher than 1080, then when it outputs, it actually would super sample it down to 1080p. So hence you get a nice crisper 1080p output. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
go ahead.
And just I think what he's asking is because he's saying, do I need a 8K TV? That's the part of the question.
I don't think this is an artificial 6K. Like 6K is not a standard. 6K is not a standard. You know, 4K is, 8K is coming out. But honestly, if you put this on an 8K TV, I'm still not even sure that you'd actually get true 6,000 resolution. I think it's kind of an artificial one that is, you know, like Brian said, it's rendered and then it's kind of piped down and outputted. So I don't know that you're going to be able to circumvent that 4K output would be the thing, even with an 8K TV, because the tech just isn't there to really build. It's still kind of a forming platform. right? It's like, so I'm not sure that you just be able to pipe it out at 6K. Like I said, I'm pretty sure you get 6K punched down to 4K and then get 4K on an 8K TV. So I wouldn't worry about it. I think you're getting the best that you can get. It's designed to be pushed through a 4K pipe, and so I think that's all you're going to get.
Yeah, and I because he asked, would I need an 8K TV to see the benefits of a similarly compared to how I need 120 hertz TV compared for a TV monitor to get 120 hertz? No, I mean the whole super sampling thing is like what Brian mentioned is, it's a bigger image downscaled so you can see less jagged edges. That's a rapper name, I think. But yeah, like that.
Hey, jagged edge reference. Got it.
Yeah, he's been out of commission for a decade or so. So yeah, like I don't think you don't need a bigger TV, because I mean, if you have an 8K TV, then wouldn't you just need a 10K super sampled image so you won't get jaggies on that?
Hold on, I think I got it. Brian, this is only anti-aliasing, right? Like this doesn't actually refer to the resolution of the image you're seeing on the screen.
No.
Just the kind of the lines that you see. Like Brian says, it's a way of softening the edges. So basically what they're saying is it's super advanced anti-aliasing. Just forget the part where it says 6K. Just forget that part, because there is not an actual 6K.
Well, no, the thing about it is, but what Brian was saying is that essentially it's a larger image shrunk down.
But it's not the full image. It's just okay. So anti-aliasing, it's like Brian said, it's just for that little tear snap. It's equivalent to going, you're inside a Photoshop and you have a larger image and you shrink it down, it'll have a better image quality when it's, from a larger image shrinking down as opposed to a smaller image being blown up. Yeah, but that doesn't mean, like, I misunderstood for a second. That doesn't mean it's rendering the entire game that you're seeing as 6K and then pushing it through like a 4K cord, right?
Well,
like, it's not actually broadcasting.
Probably.
It's not actually broadcasting in 6K.
In 6K.
Well, no. It's an anti-aliasing technique, man.
It's not anti-aliasing. It's literally shrinking it down. So it's not an anti-aliasing solution. Is essentially it for every single step. It's adding something in between there to smooth out the lines. Their solution to anti-aliasing, because the game probably doesn't, it's not even using any anti-aliasing, is literally just shrinking down a larger image, and that process causes it to everything to look smoother because it's a larger.
Yeah, but because
image.
You're shrinking down the image, you don't need to have as high a resolution on the other stuff. Like, you don't have to have 6K textures.
Oh no! Yeah, you don't need to have 6K textures. So, yeah, it's literally the geometry that's running at the higher resolution, but it doesn't have like ultra high resolution textures on anything. It's literally just running all the Another example of this idea is also if you looked at the Okami from for PlayStation 3. That game also did super sampling too, and that game was running at like some absurd resolution. And it wasn't using any anti-aliasing, but they were shrinking it down, and it was causing it. It was essentially smoothing everything out in that process by squishing.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I must have been being unclear. Yes, I was talking about the resolution, because the resolution is honestly where you'll hear your computer kick on its extra fans. Mm-hmm. So it's not broadcasting a 6K image. It's broadcasting a fuzzy 6K image compacted down to 4K. Okay, yes. So you don't have better visuals, technically speaking. So if you did get a 6K TV, this thing broadcast in native 6K, you wouldn't really see a lot of a difference, because again,
you would. Yeah, if anything, you would just see a 1-to-1 image where you'd probably see all those little jaggies and everything, but then you would probably notice that, oh wait, the textures that they're using on here or the artwork resolution is not in that same resolution.
Right. Velkyle, I recommend, there's a Digital Foundry video where they interview the lead designer of Ori and the Will of the Wisps, and they were talking about how just how much effort they put into getting that stuff to run at 120 hertz to convert to transfer it from a Xbox One into the Xbox Series X and Series S, and also I think it's is it on Switch? I think?
Yeah, they're talking
yes.
about the Switch one.
Oh, and the Blind Force is on Switch.
Yeah. So
What about Will
there's
the
a
Wisp,
video.
though?
I don't know if
he's
that
talking.
one is
He's
on
talking
there.
specifically about. Will
Oh,
the Wisp.
okay. Yeah. Not sure. Unsure of that one. I don't know.
So that I recommend watching that video because he goes into detail. He talks about how certain aspects of the game are rendered at lower resolutions because they look essentially the same when you're traversing through the world. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into this. Just let alone anti-aliasing and super sampling.
It is on Switch, by the way. Just throwing that there. It is on Switch. The second game.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, recommend watching that video. I don't think, as far as the 120 hertz reference, I don't think it compares. I don't think there's I think it's an apples and oranges kind of thing. Because 120 hertz affects gameplay. It affects how you play a game. Resolution is just how sharp an image looks, how aesthetically pleasing at times it looks. It can affect performance, but when everything's the same, 120 hertz as compared to 60 hertz is a 2x increase of performance. So that's just how it is.
But he wants to see he wants to see that in its silky smooth 6K goodness. That's what that's what he wants to see. He don't want to see that shit shrunk down to 4K. He wants that 6K.
Yeah. I don't even know. Do they even sell the 6K TV?
No, it's not a standard. That's what Brett was saying.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask Brian that.
It literally jumps too.
Yeah.
So.
There's nothing in between in the monitor market, is there, Brian? Because the monitors sometimes have weird resolutions.
Yep,
No,
Apple sells 5K monitors, I think.
Yeah, 5K is the closest that you can get, and that's Apple weirdness.
Oh man! All right, Chris will be back shortly. Discord. See, Microsoft already bought it. That's why it's fucking up. They didn't buy it yet.
Yo, man.
All right, let's move on, man. Next question. We got Tumeke,
Dogs,
aka Blitz, who's been with us all night. All right.
Yo.
First question. All right, if you could remove one thing from gaming history, what would it be and why? An example would be to remove or prevent Rare from ever being bought by Microsoft, because I feel they were a much better fit with Nintendo. I would have loved to have seen what else they could have created. All right, fair enough. All right, so what gaming thing would you change? Like, barring, fucking time anomalies, you may create some paradoxes. If there's no paradox, if you don't destroy history with your actions, what would you do?
Can I make it so the
Killzone
never died?
bullshit.
No. Brett, you go first. Yeah.
Go, Brett.
Can I stop the death of the Dreamcast?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I would let I'd keep the Dreamcast around. I'd really love to have a 3-console war.
Brett's
I know what I said.
Yeah.
Brett's like, I'd go back in time, take a $1 billion loan, and just buy a whole bunch of these things.
Well,
so Brett, you would just
with the time machine. I'd go back to 1950, start a bank account, go back to 2000, 1999, right around there, whatever the fuck it was. Withdraw that money and just give it to Sega. And be like, here, keep the Dreamcast alive. Bye.
There you go, man.
Well, so essentially the plot of Gargoyles. Remember that where Xanatos gave himself a coin in the past, gave himself a coin from the ancient past, which literally allowed him to gain his own fortune.
I haven't heard Xanatos in fucking 20 years, man.
Yeah, God, man, you're tripping out with throwback.
Damn, yo,
Manny, what's up with these guys? We talk about gargoyles all the fucking time, man. These guys don't know.
Let's live again.
You just brought me back, man.
I literally think about gargoyles not every day, but at least a couple times a week.
Yo, man. Side note. There's a Goliath figure by
Manny. I was going to ask you about that. Did you see that shit? Shit looks
good.
Yeah,
Manny sent it to me.
I posted that shit.
Yeah, I saw it. I was like, oh, Manny, because Manny's very picky about shit. I'm like, I wonder if Manny would like it. So if it gets Manny's approval, yeah, there you go. Looks fucking good. Gargoyles. That
I mean,
yeah.
when's the next time you're gonna get a Goliath figure? Seriously.
Yeah, when's the next time they're
Disney
gonna make a new
Disney
one?
doesn't care.
Disney doesn't give
by
a
the way,
shit.
we're way fucking off. So, Brett, I have a question for
Oh yeah,
you
okay.
now.
Yes.
Would this also extend to Sega being a console manufacturer in the present day, or just
Yeah.
okay.
I'd love to see. And the problem here is like the question becomes then, well, would Microsoft still exist? Let's say this is in a world where the Xbox still launched, right?
Yeah.
So we had the Dreamcast, the Xbox, and the PlayStation. Y'all don't remember because y'all too young. Back in the day when Nintendo was actually fighting with the other two, and it was a three-way console where it was fucking glorious. Everyone was afraid to piss the consumers off. They delivered fairly good products. They were all trying to get that flagship game that everybody loved. It was good. It was good times. They produced some of the best video games, in my opinion, in history. So yeah, and let's be honest. Nintendo's Blue Ocean strategy kind of fucked that up because they bowed out of the fight. They're like, yeah, I'll just kind of sit here and be the hype man. That's what Nintendo does. They just kind of sit in the background. They're like, whatever, I'm gonna have drinks with the winner. So it's really just Microsoft and Sony that have been duking it out, and really, it's just been Sony beating Microsoft down with a bar chair. So I'd like to see more competition, man.
All right, Manny, what were you saying? You said something about Killzone.
Killzone bullshit with the fucking was it PlayStation 3?
Oh, the lie.
Doing that. The fucking lie that literally the fucking CG trailer as real footage. That shit fucked up the industry, man. Because it's like now,
Final
like
Fantasy stuff?
What? Not Final Fantasy.
He said Killzone.
No,
He said
Killzone.
Yeah, I didn't hear Killzone.
No, man.
Got it.
No, Killzone. Like literally, that was the moment where like they tried to pull a fast one. Like, okay, yeah. Like now everything has to say it's real footage. Where they were claiming that shit was real footage before. Like, how come they weren't doing that before? Were they ever even doing it before? No,
I don't know. They weren't.
That shit fucked everything up.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say get rid of that shit. Make sure that like that and the real version of that is that it is actually real gameplay footage and not a fucking video.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Cyberpunk did that shit too. By the way.
Cyberpunk did everything.
Like literally everything you do wrong with the game, it did. I'm gonna just go
They
with
did
something.
that shit too.
I'm gonna go with something a little bit smaller scale. Just because I've been yelling about it for like 20 fucking years. I wish Sega had not lost the source code to Panzer Dragoon Saga. Motherfuckers, man. That's why we can't get a remake, because these idiots lost the source code. Remember, Manny, you were talking about how they erased those Doctor Who episodes, the same shit. Like, oh, we just lost the code. We don't know. It was at Steve's house and he fucking moved, now he's in Arizona. The shit has got lost.
To give you an idea of the Japanese, a lot of the way the Japanese sort of handle a lot of their stuff, they just sort of put it in a filing cabinet somewhere and forget it. And once they get rid of all the people that are already knew, because they don't, I don't think a lot of them don't even keep good archives. So they could just be sitting inside of a filing cabinet somewhere and nobody knows where it was because they've let go of the guy that actually knew where any of that stuff was and what version of it was. Especially when the teams go, when you don't have any more of the teams that are actually still there to kind of be like, okay, yeah, this is the one you should be using. This is it here. This is what we did with it. But for the most part, yeah. So yeah, it sucks. A lot of Japanese studios are like that too.
Yeah. Yo, Hiroshi, man, you better find that shit, man. I'm just saying, find that shit in your fucking closet,
Nah, man, we just got to depend on we got to depend on the modder guys to literally hack the shit out of it, pull it apart, and then put it back together.
Yeah,
again.
well, the other problem was the Sega Saturn was basically the PS3 of its era.
Yes, there is that.
Yeah, that's the other problem. That's the main reason we haven't fucking gotten a lot of those games. I mean, people have emulated Sega Saturn games, but they do not run very well. It's getting better, but still tough work. All right, Carlos, what event would you change in gaming?
Man. I'm stuck in between two.
Uh-oh.
I would tell Microsoft to not hire Don Matrick.
Hey man, it was because of him that the 360 succeeded, man. Motherfuckers actually said that shit, They said
Yeah.
they needed to rehire Don Matrick when the Xbox One was failing because they were like, he was around during the 360 era. He must know what he's doing. Like, did you see the launch of the Xbox One, bro? Anyway, go on.
He inherited, by the way, the 360 era.
Yeah, he did. He did. You know.
So
like kind of like Jim Ryan inherited the PlayStation 2 era.
Don Matrick.
Oh, yeah. All right. Anyway, okay. So what's the other one?
So that one, and then another one would be EA. Be like, motherfucker, you're not getting BioWare.
Oh.
Fuck you. That's the other one.
All right. Brian.
There's just so many different ones to pick from. So difficult. My first thought is going to be slightly controversial, but fuck it, I don't care. I would go back to the beginning of the PS3 days and just slap everyone and say no 30 frames per second. Just keep it at 60. Everyone's going to be happy. Because this whole 30 frames per second thing started around the PS3 era because suddenly games need to be more cinematic. And it's like, no, they don't need to be. You just want to be. So stop that. That's the only thing I can think of that will make me happy. Other small things will just jump in between EA whenever they plan to buy any studio. Just say no. You know, like an episode of like an episode of Super Nanny. Just like take them to the corner, sit them down, and just say no. Stop it. You can't have that. It's not yours. Yeah.
All right.
No.
Brian, you
fucking
need a
EA.
second answer.
Okay.
I just like to be there at the boardroom when they're like reviewing Jim Ryan's application. Just fucking like lightning. Like, the next candidate would be Jim Ryan lightning in, slap the guy, and just lightning back out.
Nice.
You mean like the Flash from the Justice League movie?
Yeah, like you're just like
You're
boom,
just like-
flash of light. I appear, slap the shit out of the guy, knock the application out of his hand, and then boom, lightning flash again, and I'm just gone.
Okay.
But
I
you
need
know
to
what? Nope. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, no, go Manny, and then I need to like derail it like really quick because I need to know if Tony talked about something.
So you're gonna slap Jim Ryan, but then what would happen is Jim Ryan would actually be able to perceive you like Superman. Like his eyes will turn and be like, "Oh shit!"
This motherfucker's from Krypton, son. All right, Brian, what's up? Krypton.
Oh, okay, Tony. So in the Snyder Cut, there's that one scene with the Flash and the car and the hot dog.
Oh
right?
God.
Yeah. Did you take onus with how fast the car was not going to cause that crash, or did you not?
I didn't notice that because I was too busy like thinking about it. Why is this dude messing around with this girl's hair right now?
There's no way that car got fast enough to cause
You're
enough
right, though.
inertia to
You're
cause
right.
that crash.
You're
It pissed
100%
me off for that whole scene, and I can never enjoy that scene ever again. It's
the movie has
look.
other issues, bro. But I agree with you. I agree with you.
If you know like that car and how far it went, it maybe went no more than 100 meters, which is however many yards and feet. But it's small distance. There's no way that's enough speed for a car that size, that age, to propel itself and flip multiple times. It's not possible. It's like some Fast and Furious type shit where they slam a bus and then it flips like 300 times. That's not how physics work.
That's
It pissed
what
me
you
off so
call
much.
Snyder physics. Those are Snyder,
Snyder
physics. Have you ever seen any of it? Any
But
of
it
his
was
movies?
so
that-
egregious. That's the problem. It was so egregious. Like if it was like a
Snyder
supercar,
physics.
then yes, it makes sense. But no, it was going so slow. Maybe 10 miles per hour maximum, 15 to be generous. But there's
Right, it
no
was
way.
really well ill balanced.
It was
Like,
ill
not at all. It was
balanced.
very,
It was
very,
really
very
ill balanced.
Oh
It's
man.
made from carbon. It must have had like a jetpack made from carbon fiber because there's no way it goes that fast and flips. It pissed me off, and I could not enjoy that scene, and now I
Right,
can never
it's
enjoy
one-
that scene.
Don't worry,
It's
Brian.
one
It was
of
a
those
bad
cars
scene
on
to begin
hydraulics.
with. Yeah.
It was one of those cars on hydraulics, and they put a V8 in, so it was already front heavy, and it was in the middle of bumping when the car accident happened.
So
But
Brian, what you just did right now is just made a bad scene worse because the scene was already fucking bad to begin with. You know?
Well, it's
It was
it's
already
them just
fucking bad. Anyway, we're not talking about the Snyder Cut right now. Chris, gaming moment
Snyder
that
Cut.
you would change.
Chris is gonna be like the last 2 minutes of the show.
Let's see, like, what bad decision? I guess I would reverse the Virtual Boy. Like, if I could go back and be like, don't release that shit. And it's not even for Nintendo's benefit because it ruined Gunpei Yokoi's career.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And that was a real travesty. He was the brains behind a lot of Nintendo's innovations. And they laid, just like the guy they blamed for the crash of '84, like E.T., that guy. They blame him for like the crash, and it's like, one man cannot cause a crash to the industry. He did not take it upon himself to make E.T. You know, a lot of shit happened. A lot of suits put it on him, and then they blamed him for it. It's not his fault. Same thing. Gunpei didn't decide to release the Virtual Boy. The shit probably wasn't ready, and they released it. Then they laid it at his feet and said the shit didn't sell. So
they gave him
and they gave him the Windows seat, and eventually he made the Wonder Swan, and then he got killed in a car accident. So I would undo that decision.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah, because that guy did a lot for the industry, and Nintendo just fucking destroyed his career, basically. You know? Fuck Nintendo, man. All right, moving on. Next question, also from Tumeke. Right. Have you ever hate played a game just because you had a reason to see it through? What was it and why? He goes, one of mine would be Gears of War Judgment, because I was a huge Gear fan and I wanted to enjoy it. I didn't, and I haven't felt so relieved to move on from a game. I got it from EB and I finished it within 7 days so I could return and swap for something else. God of War Ascension is the same kind of deal. So yeah, have you ever hate finished the game? Yes, I've hate finished many games because I'm one of those fucking idiots that needs to finish a game once he started it. You know, the game has to be egregiously bad, or I just don't have time to finish it. But one of the ones I could think of, besides the obvious one, hate Resident Evil 6, I played this fucking game, and I got up to, because the Ada Wong chapter was the final one, right? And for 2 months I didn't play. Like, I don't want, like, this game fucking sucks, but it kept nagging at me. I'm like, I got to finish this piece of shit. Finish that. But one of the main ones was this Blood Rain game. That was a 2D Blood Rain game. The game was so fucking unbalanced and shit. Like, the graphics look great, and it's funny because I forgot what studio did, but I liked the studio that did it.
It's Way Forward.
Way Forward. I like Way Forward, but that game was hate finished that game, you know. And it's funny we bring up this topic because I was thinking about maybe talking about it, because one game I think I may hate finish is Godfall. I think I may hate finish it. You know,
really?
Yeah.
You're playing Godfall?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I want to. Yeah. I do. So I think I may hate finish it.
Son of a bitch! I'm kind of hate playing Godfall too. We need to hate play it together.
I thought you hated it though. I thought you loved it though.
What? No.
Yeah.
No, I was excited about the idea.
I thought you were giving me shit because I didn't like it.
Yeah, there's like that one episode afterwards where you guys
it.
just talked about it for hours.
Yeah.
And it was really funny.
Yeah, now you
suddenly... I really like... I like the idea. I like the mechanics of the game, but everything built around it kind of fucking sucks.
Yeah. It's boring, man. But the thing is like, it's the one PS5 game that's a new PS5 game that I haven't finished. I'm like, I think I may hate finish this shit, you know?
I mean, I'm just gonna hate play because
now you have somebody to hate it with. Finish it with.
But I said I'm probably not gonna do it, but that's a game I want to hate finish.
It's one I've gotten that its mechanics are solid enough that they could potentially fix it. Like, it's one of those few games like, I mean, there's some good stuff here. Like, the first 10 minutes are fucking great. Then,
I got bored with it. I'm like, what? This is bullshit. It looks nice. It looks like, give it that. It looks very nice, but
now, to be fair, I also kind of hate like Destiny and The Division and all these half-ass MMOs. So I just definitely dislike some of them more.
Yeah. All right.
Adam, don't say that to Adam.
Don't say that to Adam.
What?
Look, I like stabbing things more than I like shooting things. It's really that simple.
Here you go, man.
I would have to agree. I
think that's fair. Manny, go ahead. Your turn.
I keep talking about it all the time. I would say Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
That's a hate
that game.
That's a hate. As a matter of fact, I'm throwing another one. Both those fucking games. Both Lords of Shadow games. I hate finish both of those. The second one more than the first one.
Well, I let you borrow the first one, so you didn't have to.
Exactly. I mean, I didn't have to buy the second one either. I got to review it, but I hate finish that shit. You know. You know what it is, Manny? I annoyed finish the first one. I hate finish the second one. You know.
I was just like, what? Yeah, for me, it was like, the way I saw it was like, because I invested in the game, right? I bought the game thinking, I might enjoy it, and it just was not an joyous experience playing that game. But I'm like, listen, I've already invested in you. I'm gonna get as much the fuck out of you before I fucking sell your ass off. First before I sold it off, I let you borrow it, and then after that, I immediately sold it.
Yeah, that game sucked. Trash. All right, Carlos, hate finish. I guess he's not here. He's muted. All right, Chris, you go then.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, okay, Carlos, there you go. He's like, I spelled my turn, motherfucker. All right.
I can't think of a game that I hate finish. Most of the games that I hate, I don't finish. I didn't finish Sub-Zero. I didn't finish Mass Effect Andromeda. I didn't finish, all of these other games that I didn't like. I mean, Tony's like in a peculiar position here because he has to finish these games for work.
Yep. Sometimes I don't. By the way, some of those guys on the PlayStation thing I did the other day, Persona's podcast, they were very mad at me because like I said, I don't finish a lot of these fucking games. I don't have time. If I got to review 5 fucking games in a month, they ain't getting finished, bro. I usually go back to them and stuff, but I've never had a point where I go back to a game I finished. I'm like, damn, my review was off. Never had that. Because let's just be real here. For most games, after 5 hours, you know what the fuck the deal is. Anyway, go ahead.
You realize what the gameplay loop is.
And you know when I learned that? When I wrote for the fucking blog. When I started writing, I'm like, oh shit, I only really need like 5 hours.
What cool stuff?
Yeah, like
RP. You're not reviewing the finale of the story.
Exactly.
That's one thing I want to point out. Like reviews rarely mention the story.
Yeah, I never do. I give you the setup of the story, but that's it. So that's why I'm like, oh, I don't really need to play all of the game. Like By the way, Brett, this guy that whose podcast I was on, he was mad at me because I didn't finish Godfall. It was like, bro, like because I reviewed it after 10 hours. I'm like, dude, I knew what the game was about 2 hours in. So
like he hate me. I hate stop playing games. Like the second I'm like bored. Dude, I've got an attention span like a 4-year-old sometimes. Like I'll just be playing a game, like, nope, bored, I'm done. Lay it all, burn the building down, I'm leaving.
You know what game I almost
stop playing, shut it off, delete it from the library, stand up and walk away.
There you go, man.
You want to know what game I almost hate beat? Like I'm almost done with it too. It's the Witness, man. That fucking game can go fucking need a bad dick.
Hold on. I'm stopping the show right now. Hey, Brett, you want to talk about hate? You want to talk about hate stopping? I hate stopped playing that fucking game. That was too much. The Witness. I hate stop playing that shit. Yep.
Nope.
It's like, hey, one of our puzzles? Well, how about if you run, like you're in this little there's like a whole bunch of kiosks, right, that you need to set up, and it's like, how about you take a look at 30 meters to the right, you look down at 21 degrees, and then make sure it combines with the shadows of the sun. It's like some stupid ass fucking puzzles. I'm like, no one in their goddamn mind would solve.
That was Jonathan Blow, right? He did that shit.
Yeah,
probably, man. Yeah, but the thing is, it's the same fucking puzzle the whole time. Draw the lines. Like, all right, bro.
You want to hear something even crazier about that? You can literally finish that game in 2 seconds.
I finished it until they turned the fucking machine off.
No. I mean, like literally get to the end of the game from the beginning, because the beginning of the game is also the end. You end up going up this giant mountain thing. Anyway, you can actually there's essentially if you solve this specific puzzle at the end, that just leads you to the end of the game. So you can literally finish the game.
Maybe I should finish that quickly.
Yeah, I'll finish it then, so I can have one for the anecdote.
Yeah, fuck that.
Hate finish.
Go ahead, bro.
I want to throw in there. I actually, those of you who listen to the podcast know the story, started my Dark Souls career by hate playing Dark Souls until I got Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh, man.
I love you. I love you so much. I hate you.
I played it like 3 months behind everybody else. So I played at the time where everyone was bored, but still playing, overpowered and overleveled, and deciding, man, fuck it, I'm just gonna invade. So I went through a fucking gauntlet of invaders, and then I got
Was
to
it
the
Dark Souls or Demon Souls?
Dark Souls.
It was Dark Souls. Okay.
Yeah, Dark Souls was my first game. The first one. I didn't play Demon Souls.
All right, Brett, did you answer already? So we started talking about Godfall.
That's as close as I can get, man.
All right, fair. Because you just stop playing games if you don't like them.
Yeah, like the second I get bored, I'm just like done.
Yeah,
walk away. It's almost comical. Like there are several games where like I have still to beat the last mission of Ghost of Tsushima because I got to it and I'm like, okay, so that's about it then. All right, I'll see you later. And the game's sitting there like, don't you want to see the grand finale of the story? And I'm like, I got all the weapons and armor and shit, whatever.
Oh man.
Oh, by the way, Brett, you mentioned something that triggered the fuck out of me.
Uh-oh.
When a game that I'm gonna hate beat is gonna be fucking Ghost of Tsushima, not because it's a fucking bad game or anything like that, but because someone spoiled the fucking ending for me.
Oh.
Ooh.
So I'm like I still want to beat the game, but I'm like, I'm gonna fucking hate every second of it because I already know what the fuck the payoff is.
Yeah, it's really fucked up that they ruined the ending. Letting you know that he was Sly Cooper the entire time, man. Really fucked up.
It's bullshit, man. I don't know what the hell they were thinking.
Oh man! All right, Brian, hate finish.
Well, with me, there can only be one game that I hate finished.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. I hated that game. For like the first half hour, I'm like, yeah, this game is just not for me. But I'm like, okay, you know what? I will finish it in case it gets better, in case I'm wrong, in case like the first hour or so is just not that great. And then it just kind of... I think it's the only game I've ever had to just drag myself through it to complete it. And it was not fun at all. Again, I want to emphasize this, it's only the game part of it. The cinematics were really great. They are top notch. They are top tier, if you wish. But yeah, the game part of it was so... It had that Gears of War feel of like, oh, here's a bunch of shelves and desks and stuff. I wonder what's going to happen here. Oh, great. It just had that feeling of like, oh, great, this is like an arena. Okay, so enemies are going to come from nowhere. Or like, oh, why am I walking through all this shoulder-high cover? Like, weird. Like, let me guess. I'm going to get to the end of the room and then they're going to invade. Oh, look at that. They are invading. I'm so surprised.
And that's a Naughty Dog issue because Uncharted does the exact same thing. Like
it's a video game.
It's a video game thing. Like Mass Effect does that shit all the time. Gears of War all the time.
Gears of War does that.
Yeah, it's like, oh look, there's just good. When you go into a room and there's just cover everywhere and that shit is glittering, like you already know what's about to happen. Ammo everywhere. You know? Or my favorite, you get into like an empty room with a bunch of ammo and a locked door. I'm like, all right, that's the boss on the other side. And it auto saves. You already know what's about to happen.
My favorite one was
go ahead.
The part when you're in the tunnel, right, and then you face two of the boss characters.
Yes.
My first thought was, oh, they're throwing the boss now as enemies, so I must be getting close to the end of the game now. Because that's what they do.
Yeah, that's
so they're like, hey, the enemies are bosses now because end of the game. Like, fair enough.
Here's your end of the game mid boss.
Yeah. Well, the one of those. I have to say that I didn't hate finish Last of Us, but I do have to agree with the part of that Last of Us is literally a funnel. It always is funneling you down. It's always constantly showing its hand whenever a gameplay moment is going to become, because it's so stupid and obvious. The one that I remember was when you're in the water, the dam, right? And you're walking with I can't remember. I think it's Joel's brother, the blonde-haired guy, right? And he's like, "Yeah, we got a great life here, blah blah. We're living in this waterfall, yada yada yada." And then you're walking above on this walkway, and then you literally look down and you see all this shimmering bullshit, like shield, like all this fake, these little tiny walls to kind of cover behind. I'm like, oh, how much do you want to bet I'm going to be coming right through this place, and they're just showing it to me beforehand.
Yeah, it also pisses me off when I play Resident Evil. It's like, yeah, do you have to scare me really again? Screw that game.
All right, Chris, what you got? Hate finish.
Resident Evil Revelations 2.
Oh, yes, that's another one. That's another one I hate finished. That's another one.
Naming that game Resident Evil is an little franchise. That was shit, and I helped Kristen finish it too. And you play as Barry's daughter.
Yeah.
And fucking worthless side characters, worthless. You don't even get a gun. For her, you had a pipe, and then you play the little girl, and I could throw bricks. I'm like, yeah, I'm really fucking helping out here. Let me throw a brick at the tyrant. That'll help. What a shit game.
Yeah, that game is trash. By the way, I just named the ones I could think of. I hate finished so many fucking games. It's not even funny. All right, let's move on here to the next. I think, we're getting to the last final questions here. Fergus Mills. And we're going to answer all three of your questions, sir. All right, first up. What are the best and worst game crossovers you've ever seen? He didn't give examples, though.
Oh.
Well, like SNK versus Street Fighter, like shit like that.
Crossover.
Yeah, like
You know what? Fucking Marvel's X-Men versus Street Fighter. That's my favorite one. That's a crossover.
My favorite one is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. My least favorite one is Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Oh, yeah, Right. What about you guys? Crossovers.
I mean, I agree on Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is like one of the best ones, but trying to think of the worst one.
Yeah, Brett, what were you saying?
Are there other crossover games?
That's the only ones I can think
There's
of.
a bunch, yeah.
To make it says PlayStation All Stars.
Oh, don't let Riku hear that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like how he puts the 3 dots. You already know, brother.
You put the eyes.
Yeah, that's the worst one. I don't know if that's pretty bad. Wait, this is Smash Brothers a crossover technically?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm trying to think of anything other than fighting games.
Those are the only ones that really do them. Like you haven't seen Uncharted X Gears or something like that.
Fucking Monster Hunter.
Oh, with Street Fighter and shit.
Yeah, with Street Fighter and Devil May Cry and
those
Mega
are cool.
Man and
those are cool. I like those. Yeah, those are crossovers. Yeah, those are cool.
No. They do not get that title until
Capcom?
they have a Dino Crisis.
Oh.
Dino Crisis? Yeah, Dino Crisis crossover. It's perfect. It's fucking Monster Hunter, Dino Crisis. Come on.
Issue with Brian.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
You got the dinosaurs. Yeah, I don't like the dinosaurs. I had bad dreams, and I haven't slept since the 20th of August of 1995.
I mean, half the creatures are based off dinosaurs anyway. I mean, just go the extra mile and put Regina and the other person.
I kind of feel like they're like, I can't believe nobody's noticed that these are all just dinosaurs yet.
Wait, Brian, how come they had a crossover with Horizon and they didn't put any of the enemies from Horizon in Monster Hunter? What happened? What happened?
Man, that's a missed opportunity,
Yeah,
man.
it really was, man. I would have been
Because
crazy
you had
hunting one of
robot
those
dinosaurs.
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I remember when I played Horizon, I was like, man, this is what Monster Hunter should be.
Yo, man, a Devil Joe versus the what's that crazy one? The one that no one fucks with?
Yeah, Thunder Jaw. Yeah.
The Thunder Jaw.
Yo, yeah. Which one are you talking about?
It's the Monster Hunter monster, the one that no one fucks with, like that. That's like red and shit.
Yeah,
shows up in the map.
Yeah, but
That's the Devil Joe. Yeah, Devil Joe.
Yeah, Devil
Devil Joe with a Thunder Jaw. Yep.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Devil Joe, you see that motherfucker like, oh shit, man, here we go.
Oh.
And Devil Joe doesn't care if it's a fucking legendary monster. It's like he'll fuck it up,
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's not a lot of crossovers that are outside of fighting games.
Yeah. I can't think of. I mean, like Mortal Kombat No, current Mortal Kombat has a ton of crossovers, you know.
Oh
But
yeah, that's right. Yeah, Terminator, Aliens. They got.
I mean, it's
everything.
become the 1980s crossover.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what? I'll say worst crossover game, Mortal Kombat versus DC. The
Oh, that was
original
pretty
one.
bad. Yeah,
Oh, shit.
yeah, that was bad. That sucked. I played that. That wasn't good.
Adam's favorite crossover is the Division 2.
Yeah, just that's a Division too.
Yeah, he loves all those. He loves all those Resident Evil things in there.
All right, man. Let's move on. Next question from Mr.
Double Joe.
Fergus Mills.
Mr. Mills.
All right. Has there ever been a time where you wanted to quit gaming? What made you change your mind to keep coming back? To come back. I'm gonna say I've never.
Yeah, I never considered it.
No, never. There's been like points where like I don't really feel like gaming right now, but I've noticed every single time I felt that way, it's just because there were no games I cared about at the moment. You know, like if you put a good game out, like let's just say for the sake of argument that I was in a non-gaming mode, right? You drop like Red Dead 3 on me, I'm like, that's it. You know, I'm back into gaming. So nope, never happened to me. So I guess the question is, has anybody in this panel had that happen to them?
No.
Carlos, I'm looking at you.
Yeah. When I was like late teens, like getting into college and stuff, like back then it wasn't popular. Like gaming wasn't popular, so it's like if I were to play games, like it kind of took into like my personal life, like going out. Like I used to party all the fucking time. Like it was crazy.
Party all the time, party all the time,
all the
party
time,
all
party
the
all the
time.
time. So
I'm
yeah,
surprised
like
you didn't do "Party Hard" by Andrew WK.
Party.
Yeah, right. Nah, that's the only Manny. I'm old. I'm not gonna. That's not gonna be the first song I think of. You know. Anyway, Carlos,
Yeah,
go ahead.
it's like it's not that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna quit. It's more like I don't think gaming, like it's like, oh, this game looks pretty cool, but I'm like, nah, I think I'd rather just go out or something. Like, yeah, because it would, like, gaming took a lot of my time. But yeah, I've never really contemplated quitting it like forever. I'm not Torrance. I don't make that type of statement.
Oh man. All right, Brett, what's up?
I wasn't like I'm going to quit gaming, but I thought I was done. Like a year after I lost Rachel,
Yeah.
I still wasn't feeling it. I remember having a discussion with our host here, Tony. He's the one that brought me back from the edge, man. I was like, dude, I just don't enjoy gaming anymore. I'm just not feeling it. I'm thinking about maybe just hanging out my controllers and retiring from the show. And he told me to just kind of give it time and wait and hang out, and it'll eventually come back to me. And I did, and it did, ironically, when the Switch released.
Yeah,
Got back
Zelda,
my
man.
And that breathed some life back into me, and here I am.
There you go. All right. Brian, I'm guessing you're the same way, like, nah, I'm good.
Not really. I've had times when I just put it on like a break just because I overindulge in it, but never really said that. Okay, I'll hang up and call it quits. So it's more of a hiatus than anything else.
Yeah, I'm on a gaming hiatus where I'm like, it's nothing out to play, but I got some other shit I'd rather be doing. But again, if a big game dropped right the fuck now, I'd be right back in it, you know? All right. Blitz are fucking wild, bro. He goes, when Brett goes on a tangent, I feel like quitting gaming. Damn, son.
Oh,
Wow. All right.
damn. So mean.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
you got some weak ass constitution, man. You want to put some points in that.
He liked that one. That was a good comeback. Oh man, I like what he said though. He goes, "What the only thing that he makes him want to quit gaming these assholes on Twitter. He doesn't want to be associated with gaming. I can't kind of blame you for that. I think you don't want to be associated with those asshole gamers. I think that's what it is. You know."
And you don't you
it's-
represent gaming well in response. Like you're like, it's not all those people. I mean, I'm not the best example because I'm yelling like an asshole on the internet, but like present yourself proper. Let's change the face of gaming so that.
Yeah, Brett, you're not fucking threatening developers' lives or any of that nonsense or harassing others. So
No,
you're good.
I just pop off like a jackass on the internet.
That's
That's
it.
fine.
Yeah, you do it.
I mean,
You do it in a controlled environment, a podcast. Yeah, there you
also,
go.
I fully welcome criticism, man. Like like the same way you're like, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Everything I say is undermined or is founded by prove me wrong.
There you
I'm
go, man.
happy to be proven wrong, man. That means I learned a lesson. So yeah, but if you're gonna come at me, you better come at me hot.
See, but that's the thing. That's the thing. I think that's the. Also
By the way, he
the
just
issue
said he
with
goes,
a lot of people.
Yeah, Manny, just real quick, he goes, Brad, you're nowhere near the worst. I just like giving you shit, but it's all fun on Throwdown. That's right, brother. You already know.
Yeah, for sure. No
I think the one thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Manny.
I think the one thing about it is that's the big difference between a lot with us on the show and a lot of people on the internet. People don't want to be proven wrong. They want to be always right, even if they are wrong, and that's a problem.
Huge problem. Nobody wants to admit when they're wrong.
So take the if you're wrong, don't take the L. Don't double down.
Yeah, take the L. That's it. Take the L. All right, man. Let's move on.
You gotta take the L or epic fail.
Epic fail.
Is that one of that one's one of the shirt ideas?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
right?
Epic fail.
Epic fail.
Oh man,
there's a lot of Adam shows.
Adam can have his own section, man.
I mentioned in the Discord. I'm like, we should have a shirt where it's like all of us, like in the shirt around a campfire. And the title of it's like Adam Stories.
Adam Stories, yeah, right. Because Adam always has them, man. And it's always like he just says it so nonchalantly. Yeah, when I got my finger cut off, I'm like, what the fuck?
How about when he got hit by a van?
I got hit by a van. Yep. Like he just says it nonchalantly.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing that he's my cousin, and I can confirm every single story that he tells because. Otherwise, it would almost sound like he was lying.
Yeah, that's right. Because he's like, yeah, I went to go get this game with my girl. Then we got hit by a truck, and then next we're like, whoa, don't skip the story. You got hit by a truck.
Yep, that happened. Wasn't to get a game, but
it wasn't. But he'll do shit like that. It'll start normal. Then some crazy shit happens. Then he'll try to go back to like the normal part. It's like, Adam, no, back it up, bro.
Well, I think the way sometimes Adam forgets that most people don't know all his stories. He'll nonchalantly say that to me because it's like, okay, I known him forever. But yeah, everybody else is like, no. wait, what? What happened to you?
He's got a ton of them too. Like it's an infinite. Like I have a couple of those. Like the time I threw crack at a cop. True story. Not going to finish it. But Adam has a ton of these
finish it.
Yeah, Adam doesn't have it. Like it's just an endless well of stories. Like he all the time. No, it's hilarious.
That's what I mean. Adam has that connection to the city. He's he has lived the life of the city.
Yes. Yeah, because he's worked like every single type of job imaginable.
He's done a bunch of different jobs. He's just struggling within the city and just being always out there. Some shit's gonna happen here.
That's right.
That's why he says they gotta have something. I am the danger.
All right, man. Shout out
He's
to
the
Adam.
Five-borough traveler.
As
he always
Adam
says.
Five-borough, All right, man. And the last question of the night. All right. He is a Renaissance man. What's a time when you finally beat a person who owned you at a game and you made a big deal out of it? Just to kind of it down. Did you ever make a big deal when you finally beat your gaming rival?
Not personally, but I got one that I witnessed.
Uh-oh.
So we flew. Me and a couple of buddies flew to Japan. And one of the things we did is we hit up the arcades there. We hit up the Sega arcades, and they had a whole bunch of games, including they had Street Fighter 4 or Super Street Fighter 4 at that time. Yeah. And there's like one arcade on one side, and then there's another arcade on the other side. So like you're playing by yourself, and then someone wants to challenge you. They insert a coin on the other machine, and challenge accepted, right? So my friends, I wasn't playing as much as they were because they take that shit seriously, right? They play all the time. They use fighting sticks. They talk about it all the time. They used to talk about it all the time. They're not really as much anymore. So they were playing, and and then suddenly like they're just playing on one was playing on one side, and then this Japanese dude rolls in, and the Japanese dude just fucking swept the carpet with my one friend. He beat him like 3 or 4 times in a row. And then he told my other friend who was also good at the game, he's like, "Yo, man, you gotta take this dude on because like I can't do shit on him." And my friend got destroyed too. So the other friend, like, he got back into. I'm like, all right, like this is like over an hour, right? They just playing this one dude. We can't really see his face either because like there's not like the machines are huge. So finally, man, he finally beat him. And we were just fucking celebrating in the fucking arcade. It was nuts, man. It felt like beating like the best opponent in the world. That dude could have been the worst Japanese player in the world. But to us, he's fucking amazing.
Oh man. Okay, so I don't have I don't have a personal story, but I have one to share, bro. I got one to share, man. I think I've told you guys this like off air, but I could finally share it on air, right? Okay, so my cousin, the voice of God, right? I had been playing video games with this guy since he was a little kid and shit, right? Whipping his ass at Street Fighter all day, every day for years, right? And Carlos is funny because it was Street Fighter 4, right? So we got Street Fighter 4, you know, and I was decent at it. I played a lot of Street Fighter 4, right? But I for whatever reason, him and I never played, right? Until one day, right? So and he was playing a hard body too, right? Start playing, he beats me, you know, he's pretty happy about it. Beats me again, you know, we're like, okay. After he beats me like 5 times in a row, yo, this dude, and this motherfucker's like 6'3", or he's tall. Big, muscly motherfucker. He just gets up. I finally fucking beat you. After all these years, I finally fucking beat you. He starts grabbing me, shaking me and shit. You know, so we play again. Whisk my ass. I'm like, all right, bro, you got this, man. The torch has been handed down. But, hey, listen, I had to smooth my ego over a little bit, right? So I popped the Street Fighter Alpha, whipped that ass, you know? So I still had it. Oh, man. Good times. Good times. All right, Manny, I'm guessing you don't have a story like this.
No. I've never really had a sort of gaming rival thing. I mean, I've had my ass whipped, but I've always gotten my ass whipped by the. I can't even really call it a rivalry. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, I'm like, you know, like me and you win more than I win in a fighting game. So, you know, Chris too. It's like he'll win more than in a fighting game than I will. But I never really had any sort of like, oh man, I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah, I never had that.
I always get smashed. Yeah. I always get smashed anyway. So,
like, I had some guys out, like, you know, me and Evil Chris, we used to fight. He used to beat me more than I beat him. But there was I'll toss in this story because this is kind of fun too, right? He was like a very pattern based guy, right? And he would beat all of us because he knew our patterns, right? So every time we'd be fighting and stuff, and the phone rings, because at that point I had my phone next to me, and I pick it up, he'd be like, "Oh fuck," because when I'm on the phone talking to somebody, I'm not concentrating. I'm just reacting off of what he's doing. So I'll be whipping the shit out of him. You know, because I'm not thinking about it, you know? So he's like, get off the phone. Get off the phone. And I'm like, I'm fucking busy over here, you know? And I'm whipping his ass. And then as soon as I get off the phone, he starts beating me again, you know? Because when I'm playing against him, I have like, okay, I'm going to do all these things. But when I'm on the phone, I'm just playing by instinct, you know? I remember this thing, I wish I could unlock that power. I remember this one time I was playing the first Destiny with Sergio Correll, right? You can't see the picture, but he's drawn some stuff. Or we met him at E3. We were playing Destiny together, right? You know, him and I, and he asked me, "Hey, why did you leave Dual Shockers?" And I told him the whole story. And at the end, I was like, "Yo, Tony, you just killed 30 motherfuckers in a row." I'm like, oh shit, I didn't realize, because I'm not paying attention to the game, you know. It's like, how do I unlock that shit, you know? It's crazy. All right, Brett, you seem like you probably have some gaming rivals.
Not specifically, actually.
Interesting, especially a competitive guy like you.
Yeah, well, it's usually just kind of pick up and play. Like, there's not one person that repeatedly come back to him like, fucking you.
You don't have a Ryu then, you know?
I don't. I actually wish I did. I mean, I wish I had my anime rival to help drive me drive me further.
Yes. Oh man. All right, Chris. What about you?
Yeah, I don't have a story like that. You know. Yeah, because the most competitive thing I ever played was fighting games, either fighting games or multiplayer shooters like Unreal Tournament or Quake 2. Yeah, but no, I mean, there was a buddy of mine, and he used to. I thought I was pretty good at Street Fighter 4, and he beat my ass. And I remember to beat him, I got high, and then I won. That's the best thing. I was just like, I got high, and then he was like, "See, you're relaxed now. You're not thinking about it. So maybe there's something to that."
Yeah, there is. I'm telling you, I'm a living case of that shit, man. All right, Brian.
All right. I have one which is kind of funny. But basically, it was back at university, and a friend of mine that I met there, he used to go to Street Fighter tournaments. So then he got to like Street Fighter 4. We all played together, and they all lived together, but I lived at home. So they got in like some extra time to like play while I wasn't there. So every day after we finished all our class and stuff, they used to come together and then just have a few games, and they used to just wreck my shit all day, every day. I mean, I was getting destroyed. It even got to the point where I was like watching videos on YouTube on how to do the moves, what moves to do, what characters to pick, all sorts. So yeah, it was just me getting wrecked constantly. So then one day, one of the guys decided to bring in his copy of Tekken 6. And I'm a big Tekken fan. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's play Tekken then. Oh my gosh, they did not like me. It was like that one scene in Avengers where the Hulk just smashes Loki on the floor. It was that bad.
Oh man.
And I finally managed to get to like the guy who talks the most crap like when he wins. It was so annoying that when I beat him, I like stood up and did the same pose as the character did, and I was playing as Raven, so I did like the Raven pose. We all just started crying, laughing. But yeah, I felt so good. I'm like, I could finally beat you after all these days, and oh man, it was hilarious.
That's awesome.
One of the guys was like so good at the game. We used to think of different ways that he could hold the fight stick so that we could actually have a chance. So one of the ways is that oh, definitely. One of the ways was that he had to wear like an oven mitt instead of like his hands. To like again on both hands like an oven mitt to like do the moves and stuff. That was good. The other one was he had to hold his fight stick upside down, so the joystick is like pointing towards the floor, and he has to like do the moves that way. He still won.
Damn.
That's the worst part. That was the worst part. We used to think of all these ways to like handicap him, but it never worked. Oh my gosh! And then there's one time where someone finally beat him, and then he's like, "Okay, watch the next game. You won't even hit me once." And we were like, "Oh, okay, he's just talking shit." He got perfected like 6 times.
Oh shit!
It wasn't even funny anymore. So yeah, good times.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I just realized that while you were talking, it's like one of the reasons I never really felt that way is because, with the exception of Evil Chris, I won most of the time. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, even Evil Chris, like, yo, man, he saw me as his rival, even though he beat me most of the time. But that was because like I made him work for that shit. Even when like he beat me, I made him work for that shit. You know? Yeah, good times, man. Good times. Fighting games.
He saw you as this Vegeta.
Yeah, he did. You know, pretty much. You know, I took him to the next level. But damn, man, it's like I wish I could unleash that Super Saiyan 3 shit. You know, at the drop of a hat. Like, oh, dude, you know, I should have had more people call me. That would whip his ass more. You know,
you could have just yo, Manny, around 30 minutes, I'm gonna be playing with Chris. But just give me a call.
Yeah, but the problem is you were there most of the time, so it wouldn't work.
Probably, yeah.
Oh man. All right, we're done here, people. So, Manny, do you have anything to plug, sir?
Well, I mean, you know, as I keep saying, we
comics.
Got the comic books. We got, you know, which is, like I keep having to read the name because it's so absurdly long. Come on, guys. Anyway, it's called Dark Knight's Death Metal: The Darkest Night.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
a collection of stories, right?
Yeah, it's a collection of stories. It's got the guidebook and a bunch of other things that all came out for the big death metal crossover they did not long ago. And me and Kari did some stuff on there. Also, again, this is not the Ultra Deluxe edition, but this is Excellence. This is the graphic novel of Excellence 1. Excellence Volume 1, which got funded on Kickstarter, has all of this as well as issue all the way up to issue 9. And thank you all for those of you who decided to go with the Kickstarter. We're all funded, and it's just about printing that bad boy. What else we got here? Yeah, usual stuff. Stay tuned for the next issue of Excellence. Stay tuned for the Excellence graphic novel. And I keep threatening about Throwdown draws. My schedule's looking pretty good this week, so I'll let you know if I'm going to be doing it.
Good stuff. All right, got another episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the spoiler cast, which is me, Dana, and Richard talking about episode 2. Very good. And yes, I am a John. Yeah, it was good. Oh yes. I stand for John Walker, man. Everybody's hating on him, but I like it. That's U.S. Agent. You motherfuckers don't read comics, man. You don't know. So, that's U.S. Agent. Give a shout out, you motherfuckers.
You know why you like him, right? That's Kurt Russell's son.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Like
he does. Yeah.
No,
it's
but
Kurt Russell's son.
Yeah, but I'm not getting into it because obviously check out the show. But I like the way they portrayed him. He's like, oh shit, he is in the comics. Perfect. So go check that out. And Carlos, what's up? I know you got something.
Yeah, the boat is officially afloat now on the Suez Canal.
Oh shit! Finally, they got King Kong Godzilla to move that shit, man.
They had to reach out for them.
Carlos is coming this week, son. Let's go.
Dude, the 31st.
That's right.
Wednesday. Yo, by the way, I'm Team Godzilla. Screw everyone.
Fuck yeah. Team Godzilla all day, man. My man got radiation.
All he does is save the fucking world every time it's in fucking peril. Where the fuck has King Kong been, man? Just chilling in the cut, hanging on the Empire State Building.
He's been on his island sipping fucking lattes and shit,
pina coladas and shit.
Yeah. Yo, fucking. By the way,
he's absorbing all that. He's absorbing all that electrical power that he all of a sudden got the ability for.
Yo, by the way, I'm not gonna say it here. Yo, the Chinese trailer just spilled everything. Like, god damn, bruh.
Oh,
we already knew what's up, but yeah. Oh, anyway, I sidetracked. Go ahead.
So make sure to watch I Am Negan. That is on the coalition.com and the Coalition YouTube. We reviewed this week's episode, which is called Diverged. We didn't like it.
Episode. I saw it on Twitter. People were pissed, bruh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We recorded this on Friday. We were shitting on it. Adam was just he was so pissed, man. He was like, I don't know, man. This is not good. They got to change. They got to do something. And it was pretty bad. It was, if you saw a lot of Twitter hoopla over it, how bad it was, they're all right. It's a slow burn, and the COVID really hit that show. That's all I gotta say.
I don't know why I don't understand why they did a musical episode, man. That shit makes no sense.
Yo, man. And it's we'll see how it goes. But if you want to hear us vent for an hour or so about this latest episode, go watch I Am Negan on all those podcast apps, Spotify, Apple, and or on YouTube on the Coalition.
Yeah, I should say go check out those places also for the fucking Winter Soldier shit.
Coalition with a K.
Coalition with a K, man, not the one that's making gears. All right, people, we are done this week, man. So make sure you follow us on Twitch and Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and join the Discord where Mob Hits will be supplying you with all the latest, craziest rumors, man. All right, follow us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show. Visit throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you liked this episode. All right, and links to everything down below. Once again, our show is Tony Polanco, and tonight is joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you later, guys.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
There we go.
There
And
you
Brian Manjoma.
So then, Tony, what you're saying is that the Chinese have ruined it for everyone. That's not like them at all.
You already know. Oh, give me that Godzilla, man. I'm hyped right now, man. Fuck. I can't wait. All right, people. We'll see you on Thursday, man. And that episode will be no video games. We're just going to be talking about Godzilla for 3 hours, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes.
All right, guys. Later.
Peace.
It'll be the gaming news.